Gavin, my first question is when you think about sales training and you look at providers and then you sort of had a look at us, and I think we're very kindly referred to by one of your Aussie colleagues from back in the day. What were your thoughts? What were your fears running through your mind about what we could be or what we weren't going to be? What was running through your head? What were those sort of queries or questions? Because there's a big decision, right, to let someone loose on your team.
Yeah, 100%. 2 points jump out at me, connection and relevance. So we've got a team that really prides themselves on their technical value add, their technical ability, and I was really concerned around, I guess, the unknown of sales training and people's perception of sales and feeling like sales is being forced upon them. So I was looking for something that was really relevant and something that could gain connection with the team really quickly. And that's what we found within your course.
Cool. So what were the other, when you've had sales training in the past, because, this obviously isn't your first rodeo, you've been doing this for quite a while now, Gavin, what's been the experiences like previously compared to perhaps where you ended up with us?
Yeah, maybe a lot more being spoken to rather than being asked and being brought into the conversation. Some of the best conversations we had were when the team were bringing scenarios to the table, and we created a really safe environment for them to throw them up in the air, and even if they were made to not look as good as they could have looked, they were comfortable to do that because they were there to improve. I think we gave them the space to do that, where maybe other courses just didn't provide that room, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And without naming names, what's been that experience previously with this role or others where you've had maybe more the traditional kind of sales training provider that perhaps doesn't know the sector as well? How has that landed? How have you found that like in comparison?
Yeah, I think it's just created a lot more engagement with the team. They could relate straight away in terms of its connection to the rural industry. I mean, that's what we talk on a daily basis. There's definitely some fundamentals that are the same as a number of sales roles, I'm assuming, but then also there's some real delicacies or some unique parts of that process that are unique to the rural industry, and I think you provided that connection really well.
Awesome. No, I appreciate that. So as we went through the weeks and the months with the program that we put the team through, and you were very kindly attending that as well and supporting it throughout, what were the changes that you started to see in the team, and what have you seen since? Because obviously we had a chat around what you were looking out for specifically, but what have you started to see from the team? What's changed? What have you noticed?
Yeah, I think the initial change was the engagement. So it went really quickly from a standoffish, another course, to right, I'm really into this, and this is relevant to my role. And then the big step forward was the language. I think the common language we were using, whether you were challenging yourself before a meeting, challenging yourself in a scenario, and asking other team members, what they thought, there was a common set of language, if you like, right across the team that just, again, created some real connection within the team. I think a lot of your sessions gave them an opportunity to review what they've learned, but review it with some real live examples. I didn't just learn this, but this week I actually put it into action, and this is what happened. And that would create discussion, not just you talking or a one-way discussion.
Yeah, good. So when you go out and do a bit of truck time, the good manager and coach that you are, and you observe those conversations and watch those interactions with customers direct or agros or resellers without naming names because of confidentiality, but what are you starting to see when the team are applying those tools that we've taught? Like, how are the interactions? How's the experience? How's the vibe? How's the conversation going? What's happening? What's perhaps that's maybe different?
We're just asking each other better questions. I think it's as simple as that. I think because of the common set of language, we're holding each other to accountable. We've made a commitment as a team. We're going to give this a go, and we're going to get a lot more consistent in the way we go about it. But some of the things we were doing already, but we just weren't doing them consistently enough. I think this will challenge itself to not only keep doing them, but doing them on a consistent basis.
Yeah. Yeah, good. Tell me about the prep that we talked about, again, without the specifics, but What have you noticed with the team when they prepare and plan for those important conversations? Sometimes conversations they're only fortunate to get in the diary and only get a limited handful of opportunities a year, perhaps, to engage with that reseller or that customer. How have they gone?
Yeah, we talked about that today, funnily enough, and we had a couple of really good examples where we didn't prepare well enough, and then the team was calling out, "Hey, that meeting didn't go as well as it could have gone." To then a couple of examples where we not over prepared, but we really prepared. We made sure we were all on the same page. Those that were going to be present to the meeting were all really clear on why we were there and what the agreed objectives were, and we prepared for the questions that we were going to ask within, and the questions we were going to be asked. That ensured a really productive meeting. Some of our best meetings. Yeah, and it was a great. It was a good scenario for the team to work through. Hang on, here's a couple of examples of where we didn't do it, and look at the difference.
Yeah.
That's helped create some real ownership.
Good. And so again, without the commercials, are you starting to see you're getting some wins? And I'll leave it for you to define what you mean by wins. That's very important for you to do so, not me. But like, are you starting to see wins? How would you define that?
Yeah, look, we're in a really tricky market at the moment. The current market, you're not determining your day in terms of how much you're selling on a daily basis. The market is very hand to mouth. Determining your wins or how you're judging your data is have you created value. What's the difference you're making? This is giving us a real opportunity to make some difference. Our challenge is to keep the foot on the pedal and to keep committing to these changes and to create some real consistency through the team. And no, we're really confident we do that when the season turns and when the market goes, we'll be in a really good position.
Are you noticing you're starting to get some good feedback from your customers more than you normally would? I mean, obviously, I think you already do a pretty good job there, but the interactions, the depth of the conversation, the line of inquiry, the intel, the insight, like, are how is that going specifically?
Yeah, I wouldn't say you're getting direct feedback. You're definitely getting better engagement because you're more prepared, because of the questions you're asking. You're getting into a better conversation, if you like, or a more productive conversation.
Last but not least, I ask all my guests this, I call them guests, but people that have been through the program, Gavin, guys like you have supported us and been there for the team, been a massive advocate for the program. What would you say to others, maybe your peers that would ask you or listening to this or had heard what you had to say? What would you have to say to them about your experience of the program? Like, what would your advice be? How would you describe it to them?
There's not a lot of reasons not to give it a go. I think we started it face to face with an initial meeting, so we could. I think that cut down a lot of barriers. You did a great job of getting the team brought in right from the start. I think being face to face was really critical to that. So if you can do that, I'd highly recommend that. But then the rest were all online, and that was fine. That I think the week went really quite fast. These meetings come around really quickly. And I thought that was a perfect format. It wasn't too long, it wasn't too short, and it created a chance for everybody to have their say within the session. Highly recommend it.
Oh, thank you, Gavin. I was just going to say, was there a concern or worry in the back of your mind that the online stuff wouldn't be as engaging, because post-COVID, everyone's been teamed out and zoomed out, No,
definitely. I think you do a good job of keeping everyone in that conversation. But then on the flip side too, I think we've got a team that are open to trying something new, and that's a big part of it as well. As a team, we all made the commitment to give it a go, but right from the start, you brought them along on that journey well. So I think that worked. The combination of the two ensured a really productive session, not only face to face, but particularly online.
So yeah, if someone hits you up, you're happy to give us a thumbs up, and you sort of say, give them a go.
Yeah, highly recommended, mate. No, it was good. I mean, any course and any commitment you make is what you get. It what you put in is what you're going to get out of it. Obviously, obvious comment, but no, I thought this was extremely relevant and. Yeah, perfect for where our team was at right now and for where the market is right now too. So, no, great next step for our business.
Thank you, Gavin. And I think we have a compatriot or counterpart to thank in Aussie as well. So I'm now in negative beer balance with that fella. So thanks to him, I think you guys came into our world.
It's a small industry. Uh, Good and bad.
Indeed. Well, Gavin, I'd say on a final note, I wanted to really appreciate you. You're very good in terms of sending a text after our first meeting in Auckland. Really engaged team, fizzed up, great start. And I agree, it was best to do that face to face wherever you can to really build that bond, and they understand that I know them and get them, and they know me and feel safe with me. And I think it lays that foundation for those 8 weeks of training that we do. To recall and retrieve, to literally burn the stuff in their memory, eh?
No, 100%. And hats off to you too. You were open to some suggestions. If we go, what about this way, or could we do it a little bit differently? It wasn't just a one size fits all. It was no, we felt like anyway it was there was some tailored, or it was tailored to our team and what our team needed.
No, we'll try not to do cookie cutter. And thanks for indulging me and putting up with me, especially with my scribbles on whiteboards, and even being able to read my writing is probably amazing at the best of times. So no, great team, Gavin. I'd also say it really is the manager that makes it, and obviously you put your faith in us and gave us a go and did your diligence on us. But you really, I think your support there, your attendance, your observations, your encouragement, very much well received this end, and certainly made the experience even better for your team.
No, we've certainly got a good team at the moment. So yeah, thank you.